Namaste. My name is Sainath. I'm an AI architect, and I'm presenting a case for Sanskrit as a coding language here. And I have built around three different programming languages or environment. And this I'm giving a brief introduction to what exactly this is and why this is required. So fundamentally, what I have done is I have taken a bhasha which is Sanskrit, simple Sanskrit. That means that you will find that 80% of the words, 80 or more than that, 80% of the words that I'm using are from your Matrabhasha, your mother tongue, and that as a one base. Second base is the Indic knowledge system. When I say Indic knowledge system, I am referring to astronomy, Indian calendar, and Indian way of thought process, like it's called darshana, etc., ganita, etc. So I am taking bhasha, I am taking Indic knowledge system, and I am taking lipi. Lipi meaning to say that Devanagari is a lipi, Kannada is a lipi. The language keep being Sanskrit, lipi can be anything. So I am creating these three bases. So I have three bases, and over that I am creating a family of Sanskrit based coding languages. So I am naming that Sharada. Now let us see why this is required, why Sharada is required, why we need three bases. Now in 1990s and 2000s, we had one Sri Rajiv Dixit ji. He is no more now. He was an engineer and a scientist. So the story is that during his after he completed engineering, or during his engineering time, he went to Europe to present one of his papers. And during that, what happened is that one of the scientists or professors, they stopped him from presenting that, and they told him that why don't you present in your local language. And unfortunately, Rajiv Dixit ji was not able to do that. And later he was told that unless you think or create something in your own mother tongue, it is very difficult to create something novel. Now, what I tried doing was, I just tried to see how much fact is there in that. So what I did was, I took a list of Nobel Prize winners, which country have the maximum number of Nobel Prize. Why Nobel Prize? Because Nobel Prize is the way in which Nobel Prize is given for something very innovative. So that way we can see how much innovation happens in a country. And what I saw was the highest number of Nobel Prize comes from US, followed by UK, followed by Germany, followed by France, then Spain. Now, US and UK anyway, they have their mother tongue as English, they learn it from their childhood. Now let us take look at Germany, France and Spain. Now Germany, France and Spain have their engineering colleges. If you look at their website, they have it in their mother tongue. Of course they have in English as well, but the main thing is in their mother tongue. Okay, now the thing is, what I did was, from this France and Germany, I tried looking at what are the theses, whoever these Nobel Prize winners are, whether their thesis is available. Thesis is something that we give during PhD, and what I see during that is that the most of the theses that were available in Wiki, link was available in Wiki, it was in their mother tongue. Like French had their PhD thesis in French, Germans have their in German, and this means that from their childhood till PhD, they have been thinking and creating in their mother tongue. Now we do not have something like this right now, where we have all our technical subject in language. But let us see whether in the past, when this was the case, did we have innovation and did we have great engineers. So while searching, what I got is, I got a list of C.V. Raman was one person who got the first Nobel Prize from Asia in the field of science. And along with him, I just saw who were the other scientists and engineers available at that time, meaning to say that that was a time when the education was based on Indic knowledge system. At least Indic knowledge system was available then, as well as it was done in mother tongue, and Sanskrit was prevalent at that time. Now I see a list, Jagdish Chandra Bose. Jagdish Chandra Bose had created, he had done 4 gigahertz transmission, wireless transmission in and he was born in 1858. Of course, he has crystallograph, and he has a varied. He had some innovations in different areas. I have here Vishveshwaraya from Karnataka, 1860. He was born in 1860. Srinivas Ramanujan Iyengar. He was born in 1887. Wonderful mathematician. He was considered as genius in UK and world over. And we have C.V. Raman. We have Satyendranath Bose. The boson particle, the subatomic particle, boson particle, is named after Satyendranath Bose. Unfortunately, we do not have any lessons or anything from based on Satyendranath Bose. He was born in 1894. We have Meghnad Saha. Meghnad Saha was he had worked in quantum mechanics way back in 1890s or no early 1900s. He was born in 1893, and there is a famous Saha-Langmuir equation in the name of Meghnad Saha. The point I am trying to make is, in a brief period of 40 years, we had created around 6 geniuses, world-class geniuses, when our education system was based on Indic knowledge system as well as Matrabhasha. Okay, now let us come to today's world. Now, how today's world works. The most powerful countries are, again, in terms of science, technology, military force, etc., is US, UK, Russia, Germany, France, and China is emerging as a strong contender. Like China is almost the expert in artificial intelligence right now. Alright, so what these countries do is they try to get science, technology, engineering and mathematics, what they call is STEM. And in this STEM model, they try to introduce early on to the children in their mother tongue. For example, in my previous company, I had a colleague who was from China. She's an American, but she was born and brought up in China. So what she told me was, not more than 1/6 of their time, children's time, is spent in language other than Chinese. So that means 5/6 of knowledge is completely given in Chinese language, and that's why the Chinese have a very strong national spirit, and they stand for the country. Alright, so now the question is, in the area of science, technology, engineering, mathematics, how do we bring Indic knowledge system? How can we use our knowledge? Now, I would encourage you to take a look at Shankaracharya Nishchalananda ji of Govardhan Puri's one talk in Indian Institute of Science, and he covers Ganita. He's a Ganitagya, and he has given a talk on Mantra, Yantra, Tantra and Ganit in Indian Institute of Science. Now, what this mantra means is that all the basic fundamentals, that is mantra. So all these fundamental laws, equations, everything that becomes form of mantra. And science, we have our science is based on Pratyaksha, Anumana, Agama. That's a different topic altogether. And yeah, so we have technology as a processor, compiler, etc. So that is called yantra. And the way we create the software on this is called tantra, and that's how we develop software. So all that parts are given as tantra. Alright, now the thing is, what I have tried doing is, I have tried to take a small chunk from STEM, specifically coding, and now I have taken coding and I have kept it on the base which I previously talked, which is Bhasha, Indic knowledge system and Lipi. So I have tried to keep coding over that. Now this particular coding I call Sharda, and now this Sharda I have split again into 3 parts. Now what are these 3 parts? The first basic part is scripting, and second basic part is more Ganita, maths, etc. And the third part is algorithms. Now why connecting into 3 parts is because it is simple to understand and approach when we try to do it piecemeal way, one at a time. Alright, so when it comes to scripting, currently like scripting is done by scripting is most of the engineers who work in the area of automation, web development. So these kind of work, they basically work through scripting, and it's very simple. Shell scripting is one of that. Now what I have tried doing is, I have taken scripting and I have created a very simple language which deals with paint, and then Ganita I have taken, and then very simple, no much Sanskrit or anything, pure Ganit. So you concentrate in Ganit, and then I have created a language which solves engineering mathematics problem. And then I have created another thing which is related to algorithms and expressing. It's mostly how do we express the problem statement for the computer to do. So that is, I have done a third part. Now in this session I will be talking of all these three. One is Sharada for scripting, Sharada for Ganita, and Sharada for algorithms and expressing algorithms in a simple way to the computer. Okay, so coming to scripting, what I have done is I have named it Parashar. So Sanskrit words here is what I have tried to keep it simple. 90% of the words, or in fact I would say more than 90% of the words here are from, you would be finding it in your regional language. And the Indic knowledge system that I am taking here is the astronomy and the calendar model, and Indian astronomy and Indian calendar model. And the Lipi and the script is either you can use Devanagari or you can use your local script. Now what is this Sanskrit words, and what is this knowledge system? Now you would see that sun, as you see, sun rises in the east and then it goes and it sets in the west. And at the night time, if you track the same line, so this line through which the path through which sun moves from east to west is called ecliptic. And through that, if you notice, you will see that at the night, the stars also, stars, moon, all the planets, they also move along the same path from east to west. Now what we have done is we have split this complete circumference around the earth into constellations. We have done 12 constellations. It's called zodiac in Western astronomy, and it's called Rashi in Indian Bhugol Shastra. So what I have done is this 12 zodiac, I have represented it in a two-dimensional plane. Now it is exactly like we have world map, and in the world we have Australia, US, etc. So when it is a sphere, there is nothing like, in a sphere there is nothing like top, bottom, anything. But of course you can say that it is, you can say north and south because it moves around an axis. But then what we do is this sphere, we try to keep it, we try to represent it as a square where US comes on the left, Australia comes on the right. So same way we have a representation of the zodiac, 12 rashis along a plane, in which the top we have starting with Mesha Vrishabha, and then it reaches till Meena. That is there both in, I believe it's there, same thing is done in zodiac as well, in Western astronomy also. So let's talk of Indic knowledge system. So in this 12 rashis, what we have done is, again we have split it into 27 sections, and each constellation we have major stars along the ecliptic. Alright, so the good thing about this is that all these rashis, the nakshatras, and the how they move, etc., is part of our Indian calendar system. It's part of our Indic knowledge system, and every language have their own name, and these names vary slightly a bit. And what I have done is these variations in the names in different culture, that also I have taken it as a keyword. So what happens is, I have taken this Sanskrit words, 90% from your own mother tongue. You must be having your Indic knowledge system, your own calendar, your own this one, and I have given a simple simple syntax around that. Now this syntax, what happens is, okay, so now you have this star, and to define any region in this plane, I am using a concept of self-similarity and scale invariance, which is very common in the nature. I will be, you can check more of that in my other videos. And what I have done is, just in 10 classes, what I do is, I introduce the children to this astronomy and the Indian calendar system, which is the basic Indic knowledge system, which is the fundamental base. So they have the words, I am giving them Indic knowledge system, and then Devanagari, which they Devanagari or any Lipi which they are comfortable with. Over this I am building a Sharada. I have built Sharada, and then they are using very simple scripting language. This scripting, they use words. For example, in a big picture, I have a mountain, I have a sun, I have a tree, I have a house, I have a river, I have a fish, I have a boat. So most of our pictures are basically around these elements. And for each of the element, in fact you can have any element. Now each of these elements are basically most of the time 3 lines of code, sometimes 4 or 5 lines of code, but yeah, maybe it can 6, not beyond that. So most of them are simple pictures, can be represented in a very simple way. Now what I do is, after these are represented, I again have a simple syntax in which all of them are stitched together, and then it can be put on a we can create a paint. Now in the March of this year, I had conducted one session in a local school, and their work along with the interview of the children, how comfortable they are, and it was put in my YouTube channel. It's For Our Kids. You can see their work as well as how they studied, what they feel about it in that. Okay, so this is about the simple scripting language. Now what happens is, when a child or a participant does that, what he gets is, he gets his knowledge system in his mind. He gets the words refreshed in his memory, and then he is approaching computer through directly. So there is no other third language. His own Indic knowledge system which has inherited, his own words which he knows, and then he is directly interacting with the computer. No algorithm, no maths, nothing much, just pure talking with the computer. Talking means you write a code and then the computer generates a picture based on how you have asked it to generate. So this is the Sharada, what I have called is Sharada Parashar based on the Rishi through which we have inherited most of this knowledge. Of course, the knowledge was there before the Rishi as well, but he has documented in a different way, in a well-versed way. Alright, so now the thing is, once a child is able to do that, over a time, I am able to recognize, in fact, you will be able to recognize whether that child or the participant is good in mathematics, or whether he is good in expressing. So even in the real world, I have worked both in normal computer science as well as a data science, artificial intelligence, etc., where most of the work is related to mathematics, and you have some set of engineers who just think in that mathematics, and then you have some set of engineers who work in expressing algorithms, business rules, etc. Now I have seen that each engineer finds it difficult to move from one area to other. So the reason is because our mind is either, most of the time, there are some who are well versed in both. So identify whether a person is good in maths or whether he is good in expressing. Now let us say that a participant is good in mathematics and you want to hone his skill. So what I have done is, I have created something called Sharada Bhaskar. Now this has to have some more work around it, but simple problem statements, solutions, etc. is being worked upon. And what this Sharada Bhaskara does is, to demonstrate it, what I have done is, one of the complex mathematical statements, problem statements is defining and solving a differential equation. So if we have differential equation means, if we have any change, growth of a plant, growth of something, the way the waves are moving, so all this movement, etc., are represented in differential equation. It will be in the form of dx by dt equals yx plus something. So you may have trigonometry involved, etc. So for example, I have taken a differential equation and whose output is more like a wave. So it goes up, comes down, again goes up, comes down, and this repeats. Now what I have done is, I have written a simple programming language. So there is no much syntax. Again, 90% of the words are from your mother tongue. And maybe in fact more. What I do is, I take these simple words and then I have created a simple syntax around that, and again the Lipi is in Devanagari, and you start doing, we can solve this equation. And as I have written this equation, a part of I have basic syntaxes like as a declaration, definition, function call. So all these are basic fundamentals of programming languages which we have. So I have taken these concepts. The syntax is slightly different for Sanskrit, and I have I have this solved. So I have as time progresses, there is different values of the output, and you can see that in what you can see here in the background is that the values are initially increasing from 0, and it keeps on increasing and it reaches a peak, and then again it starts reducing, crosses 0 and keeps reducing, and it reaches a minimum. again it reaches height. So that value response I have been able to get from this result, and this is represented using matplotlib to demonstrate okay how this value change sees. Instead of seeing through a huge thousands of values, it's easy to go through a waveform. The point is, once we are able to solve, I have demonstrated that it can solve this. It is easy to visualize that it can do something simple related to addition, multiplication, division, etc. And all of this I am using words like sankalana, vyavakalana, bhaga, guna, etc. These are Sanskrit words, but these are there in all the regional languages, all plus minus into divided by. Throughout India, they have the same words. All right. So once this is done, so the thing is, this is mainly meant for individuals who want to work with mathematics and who wants to do with coding, right? Now, in case someone is not comfortable with this, what I have done is for expressing, I have a Sharada Panini. Now here also I am using very simple Sanskrit. Again I am using three base, the same base, Bhasha, Indic knowledge system and Lipi. In this case, the Indic knowledge system is related to Vibhakti and Kriya. All our regional languages have something called Vibhakti. Vibhakti is more like for a specific noun, we automatically connect se, ko, ke, ne. So these kind of words. Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha. So let us not get into that. Here it is very simple, where I have something called, if I say Rama gives something to Krishna. Now in English, to and Krishna is different. Rama is a subject because it came in the front. So we don't have that system in any of our regional languages, plus we don't have that in Sanskrit. So a simple way what we have is Raman Krishnan Kodtu, or Ramanu Krishnanige Kotta. So that Krishnanige. So these are Vibhakti which is there in all languages. Very comfortable to use. I use Devanagari or your local Lipi, and basic very simple Kriya Shabdas. And using this Kriya Shabdas, I am creating a simulation kind of a thing. For example, let us take a use case where we want to simulate something. We have two friends, friend A and friend B. Now friend A is able to do something and earn some 3 chocolates. Friend B is unable to do that. But since they are friends, this guy will try to see that this guy does not have chocolate and he gives the chocolate to him. So there is a rule. If he doesn't have, he will give, right? Now this kind of a simulation which is common in games, how it can be done using Panini. Of course, we can, once we have all these Kriya, Shabdas and Vibhakti, once we have that knowledge language, and once it's, I have encoding for or a construct for loop, while, function, if else, etc. We can create any of this sequence. Now, if I have to try to do it in a language, what happens is I have Ramah Trini Chaklehani Arjitavan. Yadi Krishnasya Chakleham Nasti, Ramah Krishnaya Chakleham Dadati. So I have 2 sentences only, and these 2 sentences represents this. Now what the Sanskrit is trying, what the compiler is trying to do in between, what this is trying to do is, it is trying to identify the Vibhakti. Who is the giver, who is the receiver, what is getting transmitted, and what is the if condition, what is the else condition. Depending upon the language, this gets understood, and then this is gets executed. So what happens is a complex, like generally what I have noticed in my industry is that as the number of lines of code exceeds 10,000 lines, 20,000 lines, etc., software becomes unstable. And the reason for instability is that we have different engineers thinking in different way. And forget different engineers, even if I were to write a code, the moment it increases more than 10,000 lines, I start forgetting, and my way of thinking changes along the time.